Seeing Quentin die such a sudden death, the crowd was frozen with fright. Their eyes protruded, and disbelief was written across their faces. They could never have imagined Dustin to be so daring as to kill someone over a mere misunderstanding. He was swift, brutal, and very vicious. He never even gave Quentin a chance to negotiate. Shouldn't every hostage be given a chance to negotiate first? Where was the reason for killing someone straight away without saying anything first? He was so unpredictable. It's over. It's really over this time. Ruth smacked her forehead and shut her eyes. Illinois Dustin was just a suspect before this. He was now a murderer, no matter what the truth was. From that moment on, Dustin was the Harmon family's public enemy. After a short moment of silence, the crowd launched into uproar. How dare you kill someone with all of us watching? Today will be your last day. Fuck. Is that idiot crazy? How could he be so bold as to kill a member of the Harmon family on their very own turf? He's a lunatic. Burning bridges with the Harmon family so openly? I've never seen someone so extreme. Because of Dustin's actions, the entire family gathering turned into chaos. Some people were in shock, others were shouting furiously, and some even felt in awe of him. Imbecile. You imbecile. Seeing his son's body, Trent was so outraged that he vomited blood and collapsed onto the floor. How dare you kill my nephew? I'll rip you to pieces. After getting his senses back, Jacob bellowed furiously. What are you guys waiting for? Kill him. Stop. Everyone stop. A feminine shout sounded out. It was Natasha running back after being dragged away earlier. She barged her way through the crowd and stood in front of Dustin, looking like she would defend him till the end. Natasha, what are you doing? You can't possibly be defending that murderer, Jacob shouted angrily. Natasha, hurry up and move aside. That man has lost his mind. Jessica yelled in panic. I already saw what happened just now. If you guys hadn't pushed him to his limits, Dustin wouldn't have made an impulsive mistake like that. Natasha still attempted to defend him. This is absurd. He killed your cousin. Not only do you not blame him, but you're even defending him. Are you even a part of the Harmon family? Jacob was beside himself with rage. That's right. I think you've become blinded to be defending a murderer. You really are in cahoots with him. Natasha's attitude pissed off all the Harmons. She was a turncoat and a heartless traitor. Dustin, quick, take me hostage. It's the only way you can leave this place alive. Natasha whispered. She knew that saying anything else would be useless at that point, and the only way she could keep Dustin alive was to go with this underhanded plan. It's not that serious. Give me 3 minutes, and I can explain everything. Dustin said with a slight smile. Natasha's selfless protection warmed his heart. What's there to explain? Quentin's dead. Nobody will believe anything you say, Natasha said anxiously. If she wasn't worried that people would see through their act, she even wished she could hold a knife to her throat. As long as you believe me, Dustin said calmly. What exactly are you up to? Natasha asked with a frown. She really didn't know how he could be so calm when the situation had already escalated to such a point. Everybody. I know that all of you hate me, but please let me say a few words. Dustin looked around and said loudly, as long as you let me finish speaking, you can kill me or do anything you please. I will not resist. Chimampate, are you still trying to make excuses till the very end? Jacob demanded with a glare. I must say this regardless of whether you'll believe me, but Quentin deserved to die. That's because he is the real culprit who poisoned you. Dustin dropped a bombshell. Bullshit. Jacob snorted coldly. Quentin is a Harmon. How could he poison members of his own family? I think you're just framing him. That's right. If you're going to make up a story, then at least make it believable. Who would believe you saying Quentin was the culprit? Everyone scoffed and looked at Dustin with hostile gazes. If it wasn't because Natasha was shielding him, they would have attacked him long ago. You say that Quentin is the culprit, but do you have evidence? Hector, who had been silent till then, finally spoke up. He didn't trust anyone, only the facts of the case. First off, I hold no grudges against the Harmon family, so I have no reason to poison you guys. Dustin explained slowly. Hence, all of you should be aware that the real culprit behind the scenes is the Dark Lord. However, not only did Quentin not blame the Dark Lord after being cured, but he kept suspecting me. He even used all sorts of reasons and excuses to condemn me and mislead everybody to make me the scapegoat. He deserves to pay with his life. That's why I have reason to suspect that Quentin works for the Dark Lord. And because I saved everyone from the poison, he saw me as a pain in the ass that should be eliminated as soon as possible. Once he finished explaining, everybody became a lot more quiet. Some people were already mulling it over to determine if it was the truth. Everybody had their own version of a story, but after hearing Dustin out, they found it indeed a little strange. Humph. What a good talker. Jacob's expression was still icy. He's already dead anyway, so you can say whatever you want, can't you? Exactly. Do you think you can walk free by making up a story? Let me tell you that won't be the case. The members of the Harmon family were still treating Dustin with animosity, not trusting him at all. Words are useless. You must show us evidence. Hector shouted. You want evidence, huh? Sure. Dustin walked into the corner and picked up the incense burner that had been used to release the poisonous fumes. He explained, the incense inside has a unique scent. It's very long-lasting, and when it mixes with the poison, it makes it very hard to not ice. So what? Jacob said impatiently. Take a sniff. Isn't there an odd scent on Quentin? It smells almost exactly the same as the incense, Dustin said. Huh. Jacob smelled the incense, then walked over to Quentin's body and took a hard sniff. His expression changed instantly. Just like Dustin had said, the smell on Quentin was exactly the same as the incense in the burner. They smell the same. To determine the truth, many people from the crowd came forward to take a sniff and experienced a shocking revelation. Humph. So what if they smell the same? What does it prove? It could merely be a coincidence, Jacob said coldly. Of course, the smell cannot prove anything. Actually, what raised my suspicion was not the smell, but Quentin's body. After a pause, Dustin dropped another bombshell. You might not believe me when I say this, but Quentin already died long ago. His body was only being controlled using witchcraft. The crowd flew into an uproar.